Alrighty, we are back. Thank you for your patience. So, this whole session so far has been Daily Eraser playing Gomez, a mercenary character who is a dishonorable merc who murders. He's been hired by the evil doppelganger of Ace Gammagun to hunt down and ambush Ace as he's going off and trying to save the day with his Desert Ranger friends. Gomez has collected himself a ragtag group of other wasteland mercenaries, some raiders, and some slaves, just to cap it all off, to make it that much more enticing to get Ace to come in and try and save the day. He's rigged the place to explode multiple times over, and also given himself an out with a contingency rocket launcher, just to make sure that everything is taken care of if Ace somehow survives not one, not two, but 3 layers of ambushing.
Yes. Oh!
So now...
There's no way he survives. Now I get to play as Ace and figure out how I survive.
Now, we pop back over to Ace Gammagun.
Oh, can we not? Can we just not? Can I just skip this part? I'd like to spend an XP to avoid this GM intrusion.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay.
We are going to say that before you left with your friends and you got all geared up and ready to go, that you got fully repaired, so that you are at full health for this.
No, I was entirely thinking I would be stuck at this shit, and it's like, oh, thank you, Fat Sack. Thank you.
So go ahead.
You're not as cruel as I thought you were.
Go ahead and restore your stat pools to max.
You know, I'm tempted to tear up. Just spend that last... Oh, damn it. I already spent that. Damn it! 1 XP. I thought I had 2 XP left. 6, 4... Yeah, there should be 2 left.
2, yeah.
I was sitting there like, wait a second. Cool, we're good.
All right.
I've got 2 XP to survive this with. Fingers crossed.
Indeed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So, Ace.
Yeah. Ace.
You, Trudy, Raymond, and which one was it? Carson. It was Carson.
Carson. Not Carter, Carson.
Yes. You, Trudy.
We always get those 2 confused.
You, Trudy, Raymond, and Carson have been traveling for about a day now. Out.
And Ace has been regaling them with tales and songs and...
Absolutely. You guys...
No matter how many stories he tells, he always seems to have more. Almost as if he was built for storytelling.
You guys headed out east on the I-10 to retrace your steps with your encounter with the Deathclaw out there. And then once you got to that point, you started following whatever bits of information and scavenged tracks that you could, and made your way out to where you are currently. You are somewhere northwest-ish of where the I-10 is. About half a day's worth of travel out. And you guys have found yourself just out in the desert.
And currently he is regaling them with the story of the colonization of this great state of ours and its ascension to statehood.
And everyone is absolutely riveted. So riveted, in fact, that they don't even seem to notice when you finish.
That's great. They're so riveted they don't notice when I finish. And Ace is going to say, well, if you like that story, I got more of them. I'm a font of information, and why, there's this man called...
Trudy speaks up and she's like, Ace, please, I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry about that. I just thought you were enjoying the stories.
Raymond speaks up and he's like, if I ever have to hear another one of these stories, I swear to God, I'm gonna pluck my eyeballs out of my head.
Now, how would that stop you from hearing the story?
It wouldn't, but at least I could just listen to my own screams.
Now that's kind of rude. I was telling you guys some wonderful facts about this nation's history and its upbringing. I thought you'd enjoy the stories.
So your travel here has been more or less uneventful.
Except for multiple threats of personal bodily harm, but other than that, fairly uneventful.
It's fairly uneventful. It's been slightly awkward with Carson and Trudy and Raymond, just because of all of the history of what went down in that exact area that you guys were hanging out in. Raymond has made it an issue to not speak about it. He's just sort of moving on with his thing, trying very hard to just move on, just keep it going. And Trudy and Carson are seemingly okay with trying to do that as well. They trust your judgment on this particular call, and so if Ace says that Raymond will not double cross them again, then that's just what they'll have to deal with for now.
And when Raymond inevitably double crosses us again, Ace puts a bullet in his head.
Oh, you know, it happens.
He said everyone gets a second chance.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
everyone gets a third chance.
Of course, absolutely. So, as you guys are making your way, crossing some sort of ravine, it looks to be some footprints that aren't human, that could be the Deathclaw, but it's been a while, so they've sort of like washed over, the wind's kind of blown them away. And so Carson and Trudy are currently looking in the area, just kind of scouting around, trying to figure out what's the best angle and where this could likely be leading to and stuff like that, because these particular tracks, as you've been following them, haven't been very direct. They've been kind of aimless, moving around kind of stuff. The only real solid evidence that you had found the Deathclaw in particular is that you came across another small camp of people who had met the Deathclaw's unorthodox way of approaching its prey. As you could see, just body parts and viscera splayed everywhere.
And that's part of why it took us a little while, because Ace was insistent that they had to bury people.
Yeah.
Give them a proper rite, and it's like, we're on the trail.
But so you've been going at it, and everything so far seems to be
just hounding it.
Yeah, just getting
hounding
it. Getting in there.
Getting in there.
Yeah. I don't know what the punch noises have to do with that.
I don't what?
Except for weird sex things, but
no, there's no weird sex things, dude. It's just we're hounding it. We're hounding it.
Of course. However, Ace, you and Raymond, as you guys are hanging out, notice something. Raymond has a walkie-talkie that seems to be getting some sort of message. It's kind of garbled message on it. And he picks it up, and he's trying to tune into it, and he's having a hard time. I'm
gonna try and help him tune it in.
Yeah,
I know a little bit about a lot of things.
You're tuning the walkie-talkie, and it's not on your side. It seems to be wherever the signal's coming from. It's a very poor reception, and so whatever this message is, it's coming from somewhere, but it's garbled and messy. But it sounds like somebody crying out for help.
Well, let's try and we'll walk one direction, and if it gets worse quality, we know it's the other direction.
Sure, yeah. So you start walking off.
Fallout logic.
You start walking in one direction, and the signal gives out completely, and you're like,
okay,
"Well, clearly not that way." And as you start walking, like the voice starts to get a little bit clearer, less garbled, and you hear over the microphone, Help me! Please! Somebody help! The raiders! They've come in and they're shooting me in my caravan! Please, my children! My children are under fire! Will somebody please help? And then it goes back to the garbly noise again.
Well, It ain't a death claw, but if there's raiders going around fighting like that, that thing ain't going to be too far away. What you boys think?
Raymond's looking around. Is like, I don't know. Trudy and Carson are still looking over at the tracks right now.
Well, let's walk over and let's have them a talk.
You see Trudy and Carson. They're both looking at tracks and talking to each other. Trudy looks over and is like, what's up?
Trudy. Got a call for help. There's a bunch of raiders attacking some sort of caravan or something. Woman's shouting about her kids getting shot up or something like that. I figure it's probably not anything to do with our two-legged friend, but it might be it could be something that'll bring her in.
Yeah, well, it's always something. Seems like every day raiders are attacking caravans, and then Carson stops and he looks at Raymond awkwardly, and then he's like, I mean, and Raymond's like, no, I deserve that. I'm sorry. Let's go help these people out.
Hey, one step at a time, Raymond.
Sure, Ace.
No one ever said it was going to be easy. And Ace is gonna head off in that direction to try and help save the day, as only Ace can.
Yeah.
As his player screams internally.
So go ahead and give me an intellect-based task to figure out the correct direction of heading over.
Well, congratulations on that intellect thing. Ace Gammagun here has a power shift for int.
Mm-hmm.
So he automatically gets 1 level of success.
Okay, yeah.
Then I'm going to just leave it like that, because the player, kind of want him to fail.
Ah, of course.
I know it's not in character, but then again, that whole system isn't in character.
Of course, yeah, sure.
So the player, can intentionally just go,
Yeah, I will definitely set it up so that you don't get the ass end of that situation instead of being in a nicely placed position for being ambushed. Sure, go ahead, roll.
Oh.
Four levels of success.
Yeah.
Cool. So, the four of you start piecing together, trying to figure out where this signal's coming from. You could still pick up some sort of radio signal from that direction using your Pip-Boy and the Rangers tracking gear and everything like that. They sort of figure out that it's generally down the ravine. The ravine itself seems to get deeper and deeper as the walls of the ravine start going up. It looks like at one point the water for this ravine cut in really deep, but right now it's just sand, just dusty sand. So there's nothing.
If we head around the top side, we'll be able to ambush the raiders.
Potentially. But
no.
As you are walking in to the ravine, the walls on both sides are starting to get really wide as they start going out till it's about like 40 feet between the two different walls of the ravine. And the walls themselves are reaching up. They started at about knee height, and they've gone all the way past your head, probably a good 10, 15 feet above now.
Oh, also, I will say it was 5 levels of success, not 4. Because the one auto level.
You get 4 levels of success on your roll. All of your assets, all of your skills.
That is not an asset. That is a level. That is
all of your power shift is a level.
I thought
power shift is a level of effort that is for free. That doesn't count against the levels of effort that you can apply normally.
Sorry, brain. Thank you.
So
my brain was just still.
It always works as what you roll is the level of success that you get, and all of the things that you have on your character sheet brings down the target number.
Okay. There we go.
Because otherwise, it would count against you. It wouldn't work as well.
Gotcha.
Because you want to be able to bring things that are higher, lower.
Lower.
Not necessarily roll higher, because rolling higher doesn't always mean anything.
Gotcha.
But if you bring the target number down, then you can bring it to the point where you don't even have to roll.
All right, let's see this. Let's see what's lying ahead.
So, as you guys...
wider.
Yes, the walls are getting wider and taller. You can see there are little caves that are kind of going in and out of the walls here. You can see wasteland critters kind of crawling in and out of them. Nothing dangerous, just random little mole rats.
It's a jackalope.
Yeah, just little creatures running around. Mole rats, but these ones seem to be fairly timid and definitely don't want to deal with 4 larger creatures roaming around.
If I had the extra rations, I would just... And we had the extra time. Ace is going to make note of these little critters and see if he can't figure out a way to, like, get one as a pet.
Sure. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be too difficult.
Especially considering he doesn't need rations, so he might as well, have a little buddy with him to go on adventures.
Yeah, little mole rat buddy.
Yeah.
As you...
He's going to make a note of that in his Pip-Boy. He writes down the note of the area, and he's just... Potential friend.
As you are walking down the ravine, you can start to hear the sounds of a fight further down. There's gunshots sort of echoing down the walls.
Huh. All right. Well, let's head into action.
Huzzah! So,
huzzah! To action!
The Rangers and Raymond sort of break off from you, and they sort of spread up against the walls as they sort of move down. How are you approaching this particular?
Ace is going to take a leaf from theirs, and if we can surprise these raiders, we might be able to get more done. He just had a bad experience with the previous ambush. That it didn't humble him, like, fully. It's one of those where it's like, he's realizing that he can't just shoot his way through everything.
Sure.
Because last time he almost died.
Right. We definitely want to avoid that this time.
He's going to try to take it from a more stealthy approach and try and pick him off from a bit of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just running, screaming in, "Huzzah, I'm here to save you!" So he's going to use his stealth. He's going to sneak along.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a speed task for your stealth here.
I'm going to use a speed. Stealthy as fuck.
Nice.
3 successes.
Nicely done. So you and the Rangers sneak up along the side of this wall, and you guys get pretty close to where this caravan is. The caravan now is probably about 40, 50 feet in front of you. You can see there are some people on it. They're sort of cowering behind it right now. And then on the opposite side, you see 3 or 4 raiders shooting at them. They're just taking pot shots. They're laughing. They're just kind of stupid fox, and they're firing at the caravan again.
That is almost enough to get your blood boiling.
Yeah, you can see the people who are cowering behind the other side of the caravan. 2 elderly folks, couple of downtrodden people. They look poor. They look hungry, starved.
As he's sort of staying quiet there, he's just, "Hey, we got any spare rations we can give these folks after we take care of things?"
We should be able to take care of them. And if not, we saw some animals back that way.
All right. Listen, we need to let's take these guys out slow and steady. Looks like they're lower level raiders. They shouldn't be too much of trouble. Try and set up on those rocks and try and take them out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's get that working.
As he sneaks up and gets into position and lowers down the rifle. It's got the name Bill on the side, but he's just kind of tried to ignore that. Like, damn it. Why'd I take a dead man's rifle?
Because you're a monster. So yeah, the 4 of you have lined up shots on 4 different raiders.
All right.
So go ahead and give me a roll.
Sweet. I'm gonna steady against this thing.
Sure.
Take my time.
Mm-hmm.
Aim on down. How far away are we about from him?
Probably 60 feet.
Okay, so they're point blank range. Because I took that range doubler.
Range doubler.
The
Immediate
passive
becomes
ability,
range, or immediate
practice
range
with
becomes
guns.
short. Short becomes long. Long becomes 200 feet. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so point blank is normally immediate.
Oh, okay. So I'm not quite that far, but it is short range at least.
Yeah. And then, well, so short range for you, anything within short range would be a point blank range, technically. But these guys are just past short range.
I don't necessarily want to get them spooked because we're trying to like line up, time it, and then just take them out in one go.
Yeah.
They don't try anything funky. So yeah, I'm gonna use my rifle, my scoped rifle. Take an aim. I am going to spend some speed.
Okay.
6.5. So that eases it by 1.
Sure. Give me a speed task.
Yep. If we're all taking our time to aim, do we get the extra?
Yeah, you'll get an asset for that. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm liking the idea of just taking ones.
Okay.
Not because of the failure of things, but it's nice to have those interventions. I feel it adds to the story more.
Sure.
So despite the fact it's not the best idea, I am going to take the 1.
Sure. Yeah, all right. You all aim and fire. Everyone hits their respective raider. And they drop immediately. Like, all 4 of them just hit the ground. And as soon as, like, the smoke clears from those particular raiders being downed, you're like, well, that was easy. Cool. Awesome.
All right. Let's go up and check things out.
As you walk over to the caravanners hiding behind the their caravan, something is immediately off. You can see that their hands are bound in duct tape, and they have duct tape over their mouths. And as you look at them, they're looking at you and they're crying.
I'm gonna pull the tape off.
And he's like, "You need to get out of here. It's an ambush."
All right. He's gonna hawk him over his shoulder, and start making a run for it.
As soon as you lift up both of them, you hear, "Get him!" as you hear more gunshots firing from up above on the wall.
He's gonna try and carry as many of these people as he can.
I need you to make me
robot strength.
I need you to make me a speed defense.
Defense, okay. That is made 1 easier because I'm not wearing armor.
Yeah.
Let's see! 11. 3 successes.
3, yes. So, unfortunately, that is not quite good enough.
Ow.
The people that you're holding are just a little bit heavier than you're used to when running from gunfire.
Which I do so often.
Which you do so often. And you get tagged in the back by a stray bullet as some shrapnel kind of, like, hits you.
Ah!
You can
What's
feel
my
it.
damage?
So you're going to take 3 damage.
Okay. I'll take 2 damage then because of the natural armor.
And as you do, you can see that up on the wall of the ravine are another group of raiders that are now firing down at you, and they have you dead to rights. They've been they're looking at you, and all of them are just plowing into you right now, just firing in. All of the rangers right now are immediately scrambling. They're trying to grab the people and bring them out. And
Cave.
Yes.
Cave.
Raymond is already he's already on the same wavelength. He's grabbed one person and he's running under the wall.
Yep. Ace is gonna do the same. It's just cave. It's perfect.
So, the wall opposite from where the raiders are is nice and smooth, but the cave that you see is on the same wall where the raiders are shooting at you. So not only is it a good spot to get the fuck away from them, they also can't shoot directly down, so it's even better.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It's like this place was made... Oh. Ah!
So you guys start running towards the cave with your slave, with your caravan friends. I need you to make
we don't know they're slaves. We just know they're caravanners who were tied up.
I need you to make me some more speed defense rolls.
Oh yeah, let's
as they are firing at you.
Slaves, friends, same difference. I'm gonna spend another level of effort.
Okay.
On my speed. I've got the 1 reduction from my lovely fact that I'm not wearing armor. And... Nope, that doesn't help. Okay, let's do this. Ha! 5 successes!
Nice. So yeah, you dodge some more bullets. You're able to weave out of the way as you're holding on to the caravaner people. They're screaming, gunfire's going off. It's crazy. Would you like an XP? Go ahead and take an XP. As you're running towards the cave, the caravan explodes. And a giant fireball shoots off into the sky. And were there not a cave to jump into, the shrapnel and the explosion probably would have killed all of you. You jump in there as the caravan just explodes. You can hear shrapnel and pieces of what used to be the caravan just exploding everywhere.
And Ace is using his body to protect everybody else, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And fortunately, with that last defense save, you don't have to take any damage, but that was a close one. Like, these guys are not fucking around. You can hear up above, the raiders are just like, all right, get down there and fish them out. And you can hear feet scraping and somebody's like hopped down from the wall and they're heading back towards the cave.
All right.
Go ahead and give me a intellect-based task real quick.
Intellect-based task. Okay. I am going to well, I get my 1 level, I get my 1 reduction.
Yep.
I'm going to spend a point of effort.
Sure.
Sweet. So that's 2. And let's see what we do. Reduction of 2. Let's see how I roll. How we rolling? 5 levels of success.
5. Nice. So, as you are looking around, as you get inside the cave itself, very small, dank. There's no critters inside of it right now. As you're looking around, it becomes very obvious that something's not right. Something feels off about this particular cave, and you're not quite sure what it is. You're looking around, you're trying to figure out what it is, and you notice that along the roof of the cave, the ceiling, there's a wire that's going along that seems to have been like stuck in with like a nail gun or something.
Fuck. He's gonna motion up towards the wire to the rest of the group.
Raymond, Trudy, and Carson look up, and Trudy's just like, "A wire? What is that?" Oh shit!
And he's like, think fast, think fast, think fast. Cut the wire.
Okay. Go ahead.
Try cutting it.
Give me a intellect-based task.
Five levels of 6. So many 15s.
Woot!
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, very quickly you're like, snip, and you just pop that wire off.
So many fucking layers of ambush. These guys are bastards.
And as you're looking, you're just like, that's weird, because you pull it down, you're like, that's just a fuse that you pulled down.
Yeah. Huh. Gonna keep pulling.
Yeah, as you're pulling, you're following along the line, and at the bottom, tucked away behind some rocks at the back of the cave, you see a bundle of about 10 pipe bombs that have been rigged together.
Huh!
They have a fuse that you've just been pulling it into, but there is also a device attached to it that looks like it connects to some sort of radio device, and then it's got a bunch of wires into it.
He's gonna... You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna collect those things with the device very carefully, and he's gonna try to put them in there so when they come to get these people, the explosion will set off and kill their own people instead. He's gonna try to motion that they need to start moving out towards one of the further caves back.
So you want the people to leave this cave and go to a different cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's, like, this thing is, like, if we found these, there's probably more hidden here.
Yeah.
That's the logic he's operating on, but at the very least, if he moves it, it's not going to explode in the same way they thought it was going to.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so you're motioning for the caravanners and the rest of your guys to get out of the cave.
And he's going to basically play distraction by getting these explosives out somewhere else, and then standing out in the open to sort of just take all the attention while they hide away.
Cool, so are you going first then?
Yes.
Alright, so you run out of the cave carrying this bundle of pipe bombs and are immediately shot upon by some of the raiders who have climbed down from the wall up above. So I need you to give me some speed defense.
Oh, man. What's up? Spend some speed. Oh, man. That's 2 levels reduction. Total. And let's see what my speed is.
Oh ho ho!
Okay! Alright, he's just like zipping his... The adrenaline's kicking in.
Yeah.
The adrenaline programming, I should say.
If you used any effort for that, go ahead and refund it.
Okay.
So you bust out of that cave like your ass is on fire. And it kind of was, because a car exploded behind you as you ran into the cave, first off. And
my ass was kind of on fire. Just a little bit, though.
You bum rush out of there, and you're basically like holding on to this pipe bomb as you are running full sprint across the wall.
Oh, 1 second. You know, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
The raiders are firing at you, and you run through like the fireball just enough to where you can like clear some of it, so you have a little bit of the burning wreckage to be as partial cover as you continue to run down the way.
Yep. I'm gonna use all my strength and chuck this fucking bundle of explosives at those poor raider bastards.
Would you like an XP?
I would love an XP.
Go ahead and take an XP. As you are running, you grab the thing, and immediately you look at the device, and it starts beeping. Beep, beep, beep. I need you to make me a speed-based task.
Why? Hey, guess what? I'm spending some effort.
Probably a good idea.
Oh, you know what? I'm spending 2 effort. Spending 2 effort on that.
Okay.
So that's 3 levels total reduction. Three levels of success.
3 levels of success. Nice. So yeah, beep, 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 and you're like, whoop! You chuck that sucker, and it moves across over the fire of the caravan and lands nearby some of these raiders. And some of the raiders are like, oh shit, as it explodes and just engulfs all of them. Just, you hear the screams, oh god! You can actually see some of the wall actually start to cave in. The cave that you were just in caves in and collapses.
Well, that was a good move to tell everybody to leave.
Yeah, you can actually see Raymond at the end of the train of people moving across the wall, trying to get out of there.
Oh, fuck. This is when we find out that one of the raiders is a Thrawn, and... No, one of the slaves is Thrawn, who's just like... Sorry, that's my headcanon there.
Yeah, I can see that. So... yes, the bomb explodes, killing some of the raiders. There were some of them that were still up on the top of the wall that fell back when the explosion went off and got knocked down. So it seems like for at least this turn, you have just a moment of respite. What is your plan?
I'm gonna fall back with the rest of the group, and we're gonna get into another one of those caves and hope there's not more explosives lining like every one of these fucking caves.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So
we're gonna try to fall back.
So you guys, they are already ahead of you. And so it's going to take your turn to catch up to where Raymond last was, because they're just moving.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect it any other way.
So as you're moving across, some of those raiders are starting to fire at you again. I need another speed defense.
Zippity-doo-dah! Zippity-day! I'm just gonna make a straight roll because I have a feeling I'm gonna need to save against other attacks in the future.
I don't know why. There's nothing to say that would happen.
You know what? You're right. I won't. Oh, right. Shit, my speed's already down to 8. Yeah, I'll put 1 level of effort in.
Okay.
And I get that 1 reduction from not wearing armor. Let's see! Shit! 5 levels of success.
Nice, yeah. The bullets fly past you, smack into the dirt, just dust clouds as you're running across.
I can imagine somebody somewhere's a little bit mad right now.
As you're running, you're taking a look to see where the shots are coming from, and there's more raiders.
How many? How many of you bastards are there?
As you see, there's the raiders that were up on the wall, some of them that you took care of with that bomb. But there are more raiders that seem to be coming from further down the ravine that are just walking up, and they're just firing at you.
Wait, they're down where we're running too.
Yeah, they're just walking up the ravine, just...
Fucking hell!
You're getting it from all sides right now.
This is horrifying.
Seemingly the only safe direction is back towards where you came from.
Well, I'm gonna hold the defensive line, I'm gonna get behind some rocks, and I'm gonna start providing some cover and fire.
Sure. Go ahead and get...
Because if these guys have to come back this way anyway, at least I'm giving them cover while they're coming back.
Sure, that makes sense. Go ahead and give me a speed task for your attack.
I'm making a suppressive fire
Sure.
attack. Attack requires 2 shots of ammo.
Yep.
That harasses and frightens the foe. If the attack is successful, it only deals 1 damage, but the difficulty of the foe's next attack is modified by 2 steps to its detriment. If the attack misses, the foe takes no damage, but the difficulty of foe's next attack is modified by 1 step to its detriment.
Yep.
And because I'm providing covering fire, any allies in the area are treated as having cover this turn,
Works.
even if completely exposed.
Yep, that works.
Huzzah! All right, are you ready?
Which gun are you using?
I am going to ban the 22.
Okay.
So it's one of those where, for the flavor of things, he's using a full 6 shots, but it's just spending the 2 ammunition.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like,
Yeah, that's fine.
like he's just doing that like faster than the human eye. Hold down the trigger and just fan the hammer. So there's lots of bangs. It's really noisy, and it sounds like a machine gun's going off for about a second there. Let's do this roll. Are you ready?
Four
4
levels.
layers of success.
Cool. Yeah, so Ace pulls out his snub nose and just fans the gun real quick. Blam, 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 as bullets start firing back. The raiders who were walking up all kind of casually move out of the way. Like they're not in, their spirit's not in it. Like they're just having fun. They know they got you, and this is like your desperate attempt to like fight back. So like they're just like, oh look, he's shooting at us. Okay. And then they start firing at you again.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. So, yeah, even if that missed, they're still taking -1, which is still better than we had before.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So, yeah, they start opening fire on you again. I need you to make me another speed defense roll.
The defense on the way. I get my advantage for not wearing armor.
One of the slaves, one of the caravanners, sorry, up ahead gets tagged by a bullet. And falls to the ground, and you can see Trudy picking him up and, like, slumping over her shoulder.
Shit. 1 level of success.
1 level of success. That is...
I get tagged.
You definitely get tagged as some stray bullets come by and smack the rock that you're standing next to, and the shrapnel, like, explodes into your face.
What's my damage?
You're gonna take 3 damage.
Okay. This is a bad time.
You can
At least
see
they're out of explosives.
you can see the group of people have moved into a cave, with Raymond staying outside of it. He's taking pot shots and trying to fire back. He tags one of the raiders that's up ahead, that's been firing at you. Just nails him straight in the head. Domes that fucker. He drops to the ground.
Okay. Alright. They are safe for the time being.
For the time being, yes.
Unless there's more explosions, which... Fuck me, right?
Absolutely. That would be awful if that were to happen.
Yeah, fuck me, right? Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to... Okay, so the one that Trudy got is in the cave too.
Yeah.
All of the civilians are out of...
Everyone's out of the immediate danger. But you are backed into a hole with a group of people who do not mind firing blindly.
Okay. Well, I am going to make an attack. I'm dealing with a rough situation here.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try my hand here. Do any of us know electronics? Because I have that spare fusion core. So it's kind of like, maybe I should just try to... You know how in Fallout 4, you can drop the core and it explodes?
Yes.
I want to try to use it as a grenade.
Okay. Yeah, you could definitely do that. That's an intellect-based task.
Okay. It's lowered by 1 automatically.
Sure, because your power shift int, yep.
Yep. And, let's try this. 5 levels of success.
Nice. Yeah, so you pull out your fusion core. As you get inside the cave, you're taking a look at it, you're trying to think like, okay, maybe I can use this to get something going. And as you're doing that, Carson comes up to you, is like, this place seems to be clear of explosives, but that doesn't mean that they don't have more. We need to get the fuck out of here. What's your plan?
Right now, my plan is to use this thing here and set off any explosive they might already have on them and try to take out that group. My hope is that they're going to expect us to go running the other way. So if we run exactly where they came from, they probably ain't going to expect it. We're going to blow them up, hope that area don't collapse, and then we're going to run that way and keep heading.
So you're going to throw this makeshift grenade to them, and then instead of running out, we're going to run towards them.
Yes.
Got it. I'm going to pass the note on.
God help us all.
So you take your fusion core, and very quickly, you, with some of your cowboy repair kit and some other tools,
Rip some wires!
pop the top off, and there's not a lot of wires in this thing. This thing is pretty self-contained. It's got a metal shell that's got 2 parts to it. you pop off the shorter part of the shell, and you can see some rods sticking inside of a glass container. It's bright, it's glowing. And you just sort of shift some things around, and you twist it until the thing snaps, and you can hear the glass break. And as soon as it snaps and breaks, you can hear the thing start to hiss as it starts to whine, and it whines in pitch as it starts to rise up higher and higher.
And I wait. I get in my footballer's position.
Of course.
Got the one arm out front like this.
Yeah.
Got the other arm back, and I give that thing a spiral.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and give me a speed or might, whichever one you want to do.
I'm going to go might because I get a bonus here. It's not an attack, but it is I'm trying to throw it. I'm not trying to hit anybody. I'm just trying to get it there.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm applying that muscles of iron.
Okay.
And I'm going to apply a level of effort. So it's been reduced by 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what we get here. And this might be the one time that if I get a 1, I just go, no, no, no! And re-roll that shit. Let's see what we get. 5 levels of success.
Yeah, you American quarterback that fucker. Yeet! As that thing spirals, whining in pitch as it raises higher and higher. The raiders that are walking towards you see this happening and they're like, oh shit! And they turn and they dive for the ground as that thing explodes in a blinding white light. As the entire area of that spot just turns white as a giant mushroom cloud picks up from it. And at that point, you can feel behind you, because you can't see because your sensors are blinded by the light. You feel Raymond, Trudy, and Carson with the caravanners rush past you to go forward.
Yep, and I'm gonna try and move with them as soon as I can.
As that happens, you can hear more of this wall collapsing around you.
Oh, this is a bad idea. Now I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 17 shots or 18? Oh, shit. Alright! So, Mr. GM, what happens?
So, you run towards the mushroom cloud. The raiders have tried to get out of the way, but the explosion radius was too big for them, and most of them got clipped at least a little bit. So
They're gonna be a little bit crispy.
Definitely. One of them is still alive, but he's definitely not fighting. He's screaming in agony as, like, the right side of his body has been crisped black. You can see, like, the meat.
Oh man, him and Gomez are gonna get along great!
The meat on his arm has charred all the way through.
Yep.
And you can see the bone sticking out of it. But his bone...
He somehow survives that.
His bone is not white. It's like glowing, like a translucent green. As he's just screaming. And he's just, like, wanting death. Is the best way to put it. Wouldn't it be great if he
somehow survived this and became a glowing ghoul?
If he survived it, that would be awful. Honestly, that would be fucking terrible.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, he's definitely not giving you any trouble.
Any other situation, I would take the time out. Like Ace would definitively take the time out to put him out of his misery. But there are more people's lives on the line right now.
Sure.
So as much as it pains him to do it, and it genuinely does, you know what I mean? Like, it is tearing at his heartstrings right now that he can't just put this guy out of his misery.
Sure.
He has to worry about the people that are still alive.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you take your group of people and you run past them. And as you're running past them, you see all the raiders splayed out in front of you. A nice crater where that fusion core exploded. The sand from the explosion crystallized into glass, and there's just a nice crystalline crater around where it went off.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
As you're going off around, you can see some of the raiders who were climbing down the wall had also got caught in the blast. So like just pieces of raider are everywhere. That whole wall has like collapsed in on itself. It used to be about 15 feet tall. It's probably now like 12 from all of the rubble just kind of collapsing in on itself. You are running past the caravan itself, which is still engulfed in flames. And seemingly, everything seems alright.
I made the right call by having us run towards them instead of away from them. It sounds like the dumb choice was the smart choice.
Would you like an XP?
I would love one.
Go ahead and take an XP.
I would love one. Now, you might be asking... You in the audience might be saying, John, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you taking XP? And I'm just like, I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it.
You are gonna need it. As you are looking around, you're like, okay, I think we're okay. You hear coming from the right-hand side of the wall opposite where the wall caved in as it explodes on the ground in front of you. And you and your ranger friends and the caravanners all get knocked out backwards from the impact as another explosion goes off.
How many explosions do they have? No.
You get knocked on your ass. Go ahead and take 3 damage without armor taking into effect.
So I take 2 damage after armor.
No. You take 3 damage.
No, I don't. Oh. Ow.
You are dropped on the ground, flat on your ass. And at this point, everything is a haze. Like, you're having a hard time orienting up from down. Your vision keeps getting swapped, and like left and right becomes right and left, and colors
Is it black
are getting
and white again? Don't send me back to the black and white vision!
The colors start getting inverted and running around, and you can see like it feels like your vision is being forcefully removed from your eyes in small scan lines, as like your brain's trying to comprehend what the fuck just happened.
Oh no.
And as you're laying there on the ground, you can't like move. Like you're having a hard time just getting your brain to be like, get up, fire at whatever just shot at you. You need to get up. And you're laying there on the ground, and after a few more moments, you hear footsteps approaching you.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
And you see a figure, you can't quite make out the features, walk over with a gun. And you see him walk over to somebody who was in the blast, puts the gun down, and fires.
Ace is screaming internally because he can't really get his body to work proper.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an intellect-based task to try and get your wires recrossed.
All right, I get that one bonus for that,
Sure.
and I'm gonna spend 2 levels of effort on this.
Sure.
That's 3 total, my friend. 3 levels of reduction total. Let's This is the most horrifying thing Ace has gone through so far. Like he's used to putting himself in danger, not anyone else. 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success. So, you're screaming, you're trying to like do something, anything to get your body to move. And as you scream, your vision blurs for a second, and everything cuts out and cuts back in, and suddenly it's dark. And you're in the same position, and the figure is you, but it's not you. It's that doppelganger. And you see him with a gun, and he's firing it into people who are lined up on their knees in front of you. And every shot, they drop to the ground, and he's just kind of walking down the line. And then your vision cuts back in, and you're back here in the ravine. and this figure who's turned and is looking at you is walking up to you. Gross-looking, raider-looking guy. Half-burned face. He's got like a shark tattoo on the other side, wearing a trench coat, black boots.
Real piece of shit.
Real piece of shit. You see him walking up, he's like, I gotta say, man, you sure do put up a good fight. As he puts the gun down to your head. But you know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna kill all your friends here. I'm gonna kill everybody else. I'm gonna take all this shit. It's gonna be great. Go ahead and give me one more roll. I need you to apply a level of effort to even do it, because you failed the last one.
Yep. I'm applying 2 levels of effort.
So you can only apply 1 level of effort, because you have to apply a level of effort to even re-roll it.
Yep. Well, I mean, I ought to... no, that's right. Fuck. Alright, nope. Let's do this. You ready? I can do this! 2 levels.
2 levels of success.
I'm gonna spend some XP.
Okay.
Spend a point of XP. This is horrifying. This is horrifying. 3 levels of success.
3 levels of success. You see him put the gun, like, in your face. You can see the barrel of it. It's still hot. Smoke is still pointing out from whoever he just shot over there. And he looks down at you. He's like, "Whew, man, you don't like to die, do you?" You can feel your fingers moving. Like, you can feel them.
Yeah. Come on! Come on! Move!
You hear him cock the gun back.
He's screaming internally as he's just like shouting in his body to move.
And you seemingly are able to get your hand to move. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and shove it full force into his good eye.
So you're still laying on the ground. He's looking down at you. So
and I'm just
getting his eye is not gonna quite
Okay,
reach.
fine. I'm gonna try and...
He's not that short.
Okay, instead of reaching for him, I'm just gonna move that hand just to my gun and try to point it up and just shoot in his direction.
Okay. Which gun?
The Gammagun.
Absolutely. Go
The
ahead.
Gammagun.
Go ahead.
This Gammagun either dies or is a fucking hero.
Go ahead and give me a speed-based task for your attack here.
I'm spending 2 levels of effort.
Sure.
Holy fuck. I'm glad I had those levels. Look at where I am now. Whoa! We're halfway there. Whoa! Living on a prayer, take my hand, and we'll make it, I swear. 14. And I also get the armor as a reduction of the difficulty. And no armor. Fuck.
What'd you roll?
I rolled 13, so I get 4 successes.
Cool.
And I had it reduced by 3.
Right. So, yeah, you're laying there on the ground, and you can finally feel your hand. And as he's talking and gabbing on and on and on about what he's gonna do to you and how he's gonna sell all your shit, your hand slowly reaches down, and you can feel it grab your Gammagun. And as he's talking and talking, he's not even looking at you at this point. He's still got the gun pointed down at your face. But he's just kind of talking,
having a time.
just having a great time. He's loving this whole thing. You slowly raise it up, and you got him right where you need him. Do you want to say anything before you pull the trigger? Anything cool, badass, cowboy-like?
Okay, I got this.
Hey, Jabberjaw. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Then he just pulls the trigger. It's a Jaws reference!
And a Jabberjaw reference!
You fire as your Gammagun just spits out green, gross bolts of light from it. You don't even have to roll. Like, it just spits out, shoots into him as he's engulfed in flames of the green grossness. He takes a step back. He's like, "Oh, Jesus!" And he fires, and it hits you, and you take 4 damage before armor.
Okay.
Pings you in the head as, like, you continue to fire at him. You sort of, like, start to sit up, and you fire again into his chest as he gets swarmed with the green light. And you can see that it's starting to, like, cook the insides of him.
I'm gonna miss him so much. I'm gonna miss him so much.
You can see that he's got armor on, so, like, it's only in specific spots. You can see he's starting to leak out of it.
Yep.
As his bodily fluids and his meaty chunks start to liquefy and pour out of his armor.
Hey, can we all take a moment here to take our hats off for Gomez?
As he takes a step back and, like, hits his knees on the ground, and, like, the rest of him just sort of, like, falls forward, and as it does, you can hear, like, the slosh of meat that was inside of him kind of spill out.
And Gammagun just keeps shooting. He's gonna shoot till it clicks, and he's gonna keep pressing that trigger down even after it starts clicking. Think about his daughter and his new slave wife.
Yeah, and you get that guy. He is dead. He is dead.
He is super dead. And here's the question. Was it really Gomez, or was it the rocket launcher guy? We may never know. We know. Hey, Fat Sack.
Yes.
I'd like to spend my XP as Gomez to try and survive that. Like, spend all 3 of those XP points to get a bonus of changing race to ghoul.
Yeah, maybe.
Strong maybe! There is no way he's alive. He is super fucking dead. No one survives that.
I mean, you were very thorough in emptying your Gammagun into this dude. If there were any parts that weren't irradiated, they were at least microwaved inside out.
Yeah. Which, if anybody knows the character that I based the Gomez personality off of, you'll know that he's survived worse. No joke. That character went through a lot of shit. But yes, Gammagun is going to look around and try and see if there's anybody he can save, as he's just, like, half ready to shut the fuck down.
Yeah, so you kind of crawl over to the rest of the group who are still on their ass. And you can see that he's killed most of the caravanners.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what they were there for.
Mm-hmm. Trudy and Carson are laid out cold. Raymond's got a bullet in his shoulder.
Oh, thank goodness it's just the shoulder. Gammagun gonna try and grab onto Raymond. He's grabbing onto him, and he's just trying to say something, and the voice is just sort of clicking out and glitching out. Right, Raymond.
Ace!
You gotta get him safe, Raymond. Protect him.
He
The ranger I know you can be.
He sits up and he looks across and he's just taking it all in. He's like, what the fuck just happened?
You're the ranger I know you can be.
Oh shit, Ace! And he like holds you up as your arm finally gives, and you kind of slunk into him for a moment.
And he's just saying, be the ranger I know you can be. He's like just repeating himself.
I will, Ace. I will. And he goes to get up, and then he looks over and he's like, oh shit. As you look, and standing over the ravine is the Deathclaw in its power armor, just looking down at you. It's currently got blood oozing down its mouth.
Ah!
As there looks to be like some sort of bloody pillowcase just in its mouth.
Oh, I know who that is. I know who that is.
And with that, we will stop.
Yeah! Woohoo!